Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is the book of Matthew 18 and verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. When we are awakened to this truth by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, as scripture says, we must be as babes going into being retaught and being relearned the things that we have been taught our whole lives. For example, these holidays, this westernized way of living, religion, because this world thrives off of doing what's contrary to the Bible. And we are programmed to go, follow after Yahweh Shai. All right. So ultimately, waking up into this knowledge, we have to be relearned, retaught, become as little children. Because when a little child is born, he doesn't know anything. He's being taught up from a child all the way up until his adulthood age. So whatever age you wake up to this knowledge, whether you be 16 or 30, you got, or say you wake up, you come up, the Lord put the spirit on you to wake up when you're 16, you got like 15 years worth of BS that you've been doing and been taught. All right, this come out of the red letter and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children. You can't come into this truth, learn, been studying for like 2 weeks and think you know more than a God that's been in for 10, 15 years. Another thing, you got men that get proud and puffered up with just the little things that they learn. And here it is, they trying to tell somebody that's been in this truth 15 years, trying to show them up or sound super deep. The Lord is not dealing with that. Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven, because no Israelite with a nigga mentality, a nigga way of living, is gonna get beamed up in those chariots. All right. You have to put off that old man. Even, precept what Paul said. What is this, Matthew 18? Precept that what Paul said. Let's see. First Corinthians 13 and 11. And all right. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. So when we was in the world, we did foolish things. A lot of things that would obviously offend the Lord. Doing things that's going off. That's seen as childish. But when I became a man, so once we wake up to this knowledge, you got to do what? I put away childish things, which is a main important, very important thing. You got to put away those childish things that you once did when you was in the world, especially these holidays, which every brother's situation is different. You might be young and still live with your parents, obviously. They still trying to please to this world and put up Christmas trees, but no brother should be out here celebrating Christmas, which we know that Christmas has nothing to do with Yahweh Shai being born. That's going all the way back to an ancient pagan worship. Christmas, Halloween, and this is how you know Esau is full of BS, because Halloween is a day where you celebrate the dead. You celebrating putting on costumes of serial killers, bloody knives, vampires, devil costumes. And then fast forward, you go up to Thanksgiving. What is that? That's celebrating the slaughter of the native Indians being slaughtered on their land, America. Then Christmas, all of a sudden, you so-called celebrating the day the Lord was born, after you just had a whole fucking satanic worship day, Halloween. So this world, this whole fashion is just hypocrisy, man. So we got to put away those things of the old that we used to do. No nigga with dreads on his head celebrating Christmas and Halloween is gonna get beamed up in those chariots. All right, this is Matthew 18. I'll read it one more time. Verse 3, and said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter to the kingdom of heaven. Let's see. And this is an oldie. Isaiah 28 and verse 9. It's a good precept. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Obviously, the prophets of the Lord is going to understand the 100% truth. So, them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Once again, babes, children. You got to be as a child. What does a child do? A newborn baby, it's drinking the milk from his mother or her mother, whatever it be. The breast. That's how it's fed. So when the Lord wakes up your mind coming into this thing by way of the prophets, you have to be taught literally all over again, because what you've been taught your whole life has pretty much been lies. All right. And once you get presented with this truth, first things you learn who you are, the Lord's name, the reward, obviously, the kingdom of heaven, the sweet things. You start off with the milk, the fundamentals. you know, and drawn from the breast. So start off with the milk, you know, which is that, dietary laws, etc. Then once you progress, once you start learning more, you know, you don't just jump out there and start teaching after 2 weeks, you know. But once you start learning more, you start getting into the meat, which is the heavy, the prophecies and the deeper, the bitter of the scriptures. All right. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. And that's how you get understanding of the Bible. All right? That's how you read the scriptures, as I put right here in my notes. Who is going to teach doctrine and make to understand? You know, the prophets, because the prophets are subject to prophecy. You know, precept upon precept. Precepts ultimately are commandments. There are precepts that are linked together with prophecy. Yahweh's second coming. When you add precept upon precept, you get the whole Bible, which we know Yahweh is the volume of the book. It was that Psalms 40:7. Lo, I come in the volume of the book, it is written of me. And if you know, you know, reincarnation, as it say, well, Matthew 1:1, it goes into pretty much Yahweh's generation, you know. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 1. I'm going to get that in 32. What's that? Yeah, 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. All right. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So, speaking the words of prophecy is subject unto the prophets of the Lord. Amos 30:7. All right. And we know Yahweh is a spirit. He come in the spirit of prophecy. Try to get that. I believe it's in Revelation. Yeah. For the testimony of Yahweh is a spirit of prophecy. That's Revelation 19:10. Okay. So all around, this shows you how very important this truth is. You learn the wisdom, the knowledge, and get an understanding of it. Because you can have the wisdom and knowledge, but if you ultimately don't understand it, it's pretty much in vain. The Lord has to lock your mind to understand it. Because you could hear and listen to this all day, but if you don't truly understand what's going on, you know, you out here lost. Which these 2/3 in the world, they don't have nothing. They just flat out stupid. Right? But we have ultimately we have to be as children and come humble and relearn everything that we haven't been taught in this world. We have to come up and relearn righteousness. You know, Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay? And brothers coming out on the highways and hedges weekly in that spirit of prophecy, man. So we have a very important role that we are playing out in these last days. Okay? And it's important to lock in more than ever. So with that, I'm going to close out, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakadash, the barners to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, the barners to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. All right, let's say Shalom.